Hello there monsters and men, ladies and people, and welcome to Recharging. I'm currently sitting in the MG4 with the bigger battery pack, a nice orange one, as you can see right here. And it is time for a range test with this car. And as with all MGs, I picked up this car 2 hours ago, got something to eat, and now I am here at a fast charger. But yeah, I have this car now for like 2 hours, so I have no idea how this car will perform in terms of energy efficiency. The WLTP range though is 440 kilometers. The conditions today, it is now 6 degrees Celsius. It will cool down a little or get a bit colder, I think probably around 4. And there is quite a strong wind from the northwest. So that means going that way we will have tailwind, but going back we will have headwind. So we will not be able to do that 440 kilometers, I'm pretty sure of that. But let's see what it can do and then estimate what the summer efficiency will be. Alright, the car is being charged. As I said, it is currently at 95%, so let's go. I forgot to mention, for any one of you who don't know how I do my range test, I will do one test at 90 kilometers per hour to simulate those mixed driving conditions, and I will do one test at 130 kilometers per hour. I have to say though, it is still relatively early because it is 6:30 on a Friday, so it is still pretty busy. So I hope I can keep up with the 90 kilometers per hour. This guy is already driving slower. And well, the weather is not in favor of this MG because I thought it was going to be a dry evening at night, but it just started to rain. It is dry now, but maybe we'll have some rain, some wet roads, so yeah. The conditions are not optimal, but you can do it, MG. It is a pretty quiet car though. It's not as quiet, I think, as an ID3 for example, but it is quieter than a Kona and at least a previous generation Nero. Anyway, that about the car. Let's just cruise and you will hear me if I have an update. Alrighty, time for the first update. The car has used almost 20% state of charge, and on that 20% I have driven almost 80 kilometers. So do the calculation now and you can drive with this car in these conditions 400 kilometers, and that is actually quite impressive still because the WLTP is 440 or 450, somewhere around there. The average consumption though is 15.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That is on the good side of the spectrum, but it is not insanely impressive. It is not as efficient as a Kona or a Tesla Model 3 for example. But again, it is on the good side of the spectrum. Every now and then I have some rain, so the roads are wet, and the temperature is 4 to 5 degrees Celsius, so that is also not optimal. And there is still quite a lot of wind. Yeah, that's basically it. The ride in this car is really good actually. It's night and day compared to the ZS EV and MG5. I really like it. But I will keep on cruising and you will hear from me, well, at the next update. Hello, I have been driving for a while now, I think 1 to 1.5 hours since my last update. The consumption did go up because I'm driving west again and the wind is coming from the west, well, northwest actually, so that means I have headwind. The consumption at the moment is 16.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Last time I think it was 15.9, so it didn't go up by a whole lot, but a little. Anyway, the car has used 50% state of charge, and on that 50% I have done 194 kilometers. So the range is a bit less than 400 kilometers, 380 to 390. But I have to admit, this car basically has one of the worst conditions it can have. It is 4 to 6 degrees Celsius, there is quite a strong wind, sometimes it is raining, the roads are wet, so I'm sorry MG, these are the conditions you have to deal with. So yeah, then 16.4, it's on the good side of the spectrum. Again, not amazingly efficient, there are more efficient cars, but I am satisfied. Anyway, I will keep on driving and then I will give you the result of the test at the charger. Hopefully you can see me because the interior lights in this car are pretty terrible, but the charging station also has some lights, so I think you can see me. Yeah, you can. I will give you the result of the 90 kilometers per hour test. I started the test with 96% state of charge and I arrived here at the charger with 38%. So that means I have used 58%. On those 58% I have driven 222.9 kilometers. Do some calculation and you can do with this car the MG4 long range luxury 384 kilometers on one full battery in these conditions. The consumption, the average consumption was 16.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. For you who don't know what the conditions are or what the conditions were, it is between 4 and 6 degrees Celsius. Sometimes I had some rain, that also means the roads are wet and there is quite a strong wind. So yeah, in summer you probably get around 14.5 to 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And then driving 440 kilometers, the WLTP range can be achieved. I'm pretty sure of that. So that's actually pretty good. Yeah, again, this car is on the efficient side of the spectrum. It is not the most efficient car, but I'm satisfied. And also I turned off the intelligent battery heating, so the battery wasn't warmed up. At least it should not have been. And when I plugged in at the charger at 38%, I got 90 kilowatts. The car is already at 61% and I'm still getting 81 kilowatts. So that is also pretty impressive. Anyway, I'm charging up to around 80% and then I will do the 130 kilometers per hour test. Alrighty, it is time for the more fun test, the 130 kilometers per hour test. So power, it started to rain again. The acceleration is decent. This is comfort mode, not sport mode. But it is decent enough. Oh, the lane assist is on. The lane assist is quite bad in this car. But I can't turn it off now. Yeah, this car is reasonably quiet. It's reasonably quiet. As I said, it's not as quiet as an ID3, for example, but it's quieter than a Kona and an e-Niro. At least the last generation e-Niro. So, yeah, pretty good. I'm pretty happy. Anyway, let's cruise. Then what am I doing? I'm still having to get used to this car. These lights are annoying while driving, but otherwise you can't see me. Anyway, I will keep on driving 130 kilometers per hour. Quite a good ride this, yes. And then I will get to you with the result. And yes, I will do a status update in between. Alright, I am at my turnaround point. This car feels super stable when doing 130 kilometers an hour. It is impressive, especially because I have the ZS EV and the MG5 as my last reminders of an MG. This car is so different. It drives a lot like an ID3 or a Cupra Born. Really impressive. Anyway, I am at my turnaround point and I have almost used 1/3 of the battery capacity. And on that 1/3 I have driven a little more than 75 kilometers. So that means that you can do on a full battery, as it seems like right now, 230, 240 kilometers. The consumption at the moment, it is going down because I'm regenerating energy, because I'm slowing down. At the moment it is 25.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And again, it's on the good side of the spectrum, not the most efficient. There are cars that do it more efficient than this MG4, but it is on the good side of the spectrum. I'm pretty sure that a Kona, for example, which has a similar capacity, can do a bit more than 250 kilometers in these conditions. Probably 275, something around that line. But again, it's not bad at all. I'm almost going on the highway again, and I know I have to do loops of around 30 kilometers because, well, I'm in the Netherlands, it's a small country, and I don't have a long stretch like in Germany, not where I live at least, where I can do 130 kilometers an hour for a long time. So I have to do loops of around 30 kilometers. And I know it's not optimal, but it's a deal of the game. Otherwise I have to drive 2 hours to Germany and there I can do it. But then I also have to drive 2 hours back. And that's a long time. And that's a lot of time to spend for a range test. Alright, let's go. This car has some nice acceleration. It is punchy, but not too punchy as a Tesla. So it doesn't fly away when you press the accelerator pedal. But it is nice and punchy, yeah. And there we go again, 130. You will get the result at the charger. Having charged before and also driving 130 kilometers an hour means the battery is nice and warm. Which also means that at 35% I am still charging with 137 kilowatts. 137, I mean that is 7 more than the maximum 130 kilowatts that is claimed for this car. Very nice, MG, put in the juice. Ooh yeah, I like it. But anyway, I am at the charger, so that also means I am done with my test. So here are the results. I started the 130 kilometers per hour test with 80% state of charge, and I arrived here at the charger with 11%. So that means I've used 69%. On that 69% I have done 157.3 kilometers. So you can do, in these conditions, while driving 130 kilometers an hour, 228 kilometers. The average consumption was 26.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And as I have said many times during this range test, it is on the efficient side of the spectrum, but it is not the most efficient car out there. A Hyundai Kona or previous generation e-Niro are more efficient. I mean, they will do 260, 270 in these conditions. I'm pretty sure of that. And in summer they can do 300. And I think in summer this car can do 260, 270. So yeah, again, it is efficient, but not the most efficient car out there. But hey, MG does not claim it to be. But I can tell you, this is a better driving car than the e-Niro and Hyundai Kona. It is really impressive what MG has done if you compare this to the ZS EV and the MG5. It is a really nice driving car. So anyway, that was the test. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give a like. If you have something to say, leave a comment, and it would be awesome if you subscribed. And then I would like to say now, thank you a lot for watching, and as always, to be continued.